What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Talk. Islam Makhachev is heading into his highly anticipated UFC 322 matchup against Jack Della Maddalena with more than just one strategy up his sleeve. Known for his elite grappling and relentless pressure, Makhachev is widely considered one of the most complete fighters in the sport today. However, according to his teammate and close friend Umar Nurmagomedov, the reigning lightweight champion turned welterweight contender has prepared multiple game plans for this fight, making him an even more dangerous opponent. Heading into UFC 322, many fans and analysts have described the upcoming bout as a classic striker versus grappler showdown. Jack Della Madalena's crisp boxing, sharp combinations, and impressive reach advantage have earned him a reputation as one of the division's best pure strikers. On the other hand, Makhachev's world-class wrestling, suffocating top control, and slick submissions have overwhelmed nearly every opponent he's faced so far. Most expected Islam to rely heavily on his grappling, aiming for early takedowns to neutralize Della Maddalena's striking, but recent comments from Umar Nurmagomedov suggest that Makhachev's approach may surprise everyone. Speaking to MMA Junkie, Umar revealed that Islam has been preparing for every possible scenario inside the octagon. Islam is in amazing shape, Umar said. He's a very smart fighter. I'm his friend, and I can tell you he doesn't just have one plan for this fight. He has plans A, B, C, the whole alphabet. If something doesn't work, he immediately adjusts and tries something else. That's what makes him special. He's an amazing fighter, an amazing friend, and I truly believe he will take this belt. He deserves it. Makhachev's versatility is what sets him apart from most competitors. While he is best known for his dominant wrestling, a signature trait of the Dagestani fighting style, he has steadily evolved into a complete mixed martial artist. Over the past few years, Islam's striking has improved significantly under the guidance of coach Javier Mendez at American Kickboxing Academy. His timing, distance control, and counterpunching have become major weapons, allowing him to blend his striking seamlessly with his grappling transitions. As Islam prepares to make the move up to welterweight, fans and fighters alike are curious to see how his skills translate against bigger, longer opponents. So far, pictures of Makhachev training at his new weight have drawn attention online, with many noting how strong and lean he looks. Recently, Islam was spotted alongside his longtime friend and training partner Usman Nurmagomedov, as well as combat sports legend Alistair Overeem, further proof that he is surrounding himself with elite minds as he prepares for this massive challenge. For Makhachev, UFC 322 is more than just another fight, it's a statement opportunity. A win over Jack Della Maddalena would not only prove that he can compete and dominate at welterweight, but it would also solidify his legacy as one of the most adaptable and intelligent fighters in modern MMA. Whether he chooses to strike, wrestle, or mix both, one thing is clear: Islam Makhachev is coming into UFC 322 with every letter of the alphabet ready. Before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out and ensures you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall is determined to prove that he's not just a heavyweight champion, but an active one. As he gears up for his long-awaited return to the octagon, the reigning UFC heavyweight titleholder made it clear that he intends to stay busy and defend his belt frequently. His mindset heading into his next fight sends a strong message to fans and fellow fighters alike. He doesn't plan on sitting on the sidelines. It's been well over a year since Aspinall last competed. His most recent fight took place in July 2024, when he delivered a stunning and dominant performance against Curtis Blaydes, finishing the top contender in the first round. That victory cemented his status as one of the most dangerous heavyweights in the world, a mix of speed, precision, and athleticism rarely seen in the division. Now, as he prepares to headline UFC 321 on October 25th in Abu Dhabi, Aspinall is ready to defend his championship against France's Cyril Gane, a matchup that promises both technical brilliance and heavyweight power. This bout also marks Aspinall's first fight as the undisputed champion. After John Jones vacated the title following a short-lived retirement, Aspinall officially inherited the throne as the division's top fighter. However, the 31-year-old Brit is not content with merely holding the belt. He wants to actively defend it, fight often, and keep the division moving. In a recent UFC promotional video, Aspinall spoke candidly about his approach to being champion. "I've always been in the gym," he said, "but it's nice to have a goal, to have an opponent. I just want to be the kind of champion who fights often and fights the best guys. I don't want to be one of those fighters who takes long breaks between bouts. That's what's been happening recently, and it's got nothing to do with me. I'm ready to put a stop to that, be active, be a defending champion, and take on the best the heavyweight division has to offer." Aspinall's words come as a breath of fresh air in a division that has often suffered from inactivity among its top contenders and champions. With stars like Jones, Stipe Miocic, and Gane having fought sporadically in recent years, the heavyweight landscape has frequently been in flux. Aspinall's commitment to regular competition could help restore stability and excitement at the top of the division. When discussing his upcoming opponent, Aspinall showed both respect and confidence. "Cyril is the #1 contender, and that's what a true champion should do, fight the top contender," he explained. "I'm the champion, and he's the next best guy. Let's get in there and find out who the best heavyweight in the world really is. That's the way it's supposed to be." Aspinall went on to praise Gane's unique style, calling him a really good opponent with a striking approach unlike anyone he has faced before. "He's very different, fast, technical, and moves like a middleweight," said Aspinall. "But at the same time, he's never fought anyone like me before either." With both men known for their agility, timing, and finishing instincts, UFC 321 is shaping up to be one of the most exciting heavyweight title fights in recent years. And for Tom Aspinall, it's just the beginning of what he hopes will be a long and active reign as champion, one built not on waiting, but on fighting. Move on to another news. Reinier de Ridder's coach, Harun Askan, has officially broken his silence following his fighter's tough loss at UFC 322, a defeat that ended with Askan throwing in the towel after the fourth round against Brendan Allen. The decision, while surprising to some fans, was made out of deep concern for de Ridder's safety and long-term health, according to the coach's emotional statement released on Instagram. De Ridder, who had been steadily climbing the UFC middleweight rankings, entered the octagon on Saturday night with high expectations. His technical grappling, composure, and championship experience from his time in one championship made him one of the division's most talked-about prospects. However, what started as a strong opening round quickly turned into a grueling and exhausting battle that took a heavy toll on the Dutch fighter. In his post-fight statement, coach Harun Askan offered a heartfelt explanation for the decision to stop the fight. "Friends, fans, and supporters, I normally don't share personal things on here, but I feel I owe an explanation to everyone who has been behind us," Askan began. "First of all, thank you for the amazing support we've been receiving. It's been a crazy and busy year so far, but last night didn't go as we wanted. After a very strong start in the first round, things quickly began to fade, and we couldn't really recover from the damage sustained in and after the second round. I made the call to stop the fight after the fourth round. I take full responsibility for that decision, and it was the right call for me in that moment." Askan went on to explain that while the decision was difficult, it was made purely out of care for his fighter. "It's not a decision I ever wanted to make, but sometimes you have to. My job is to coach, but also to protect my fighter's health. I've been with Reinier for basically his entire career, and I saw too many signs that made me step in. If I hadn't stopped it, he would have kept fighting, and that could have meant unnecessary damage. Rather than risk that, I decided to end it and bring him home healthy, live to fight another day." The coach emphasized the harsh realities of mixed martial arts, reminding fans that fighters often put their health on the line for the sport. "There's a thin line between being tough and being smart," he said. "This sport can be brutal. These athletes sacrifice so much in and out of the cage, and there's no need for excess punishment if it can be avoided. People sometimes forget that fighters are human too." Askan made it clear that there were no excuses for the loss, acknowledging that the team would take time to recover and regroup. "We're not happy with the performance, and we take full responsibility. We knew what we were getting into. Now, it's about rest, recovery, and evaluation. We'll be back stronger next year. It's been an incredible year overall, with its highs and lows, and I'm grateful for all of it. I'm proud of you, my brother Reinier. We've come a long way." The message, signed "All Love, Coach Harun," was met with widespread respect across the MMA community. Many praised Askan for prioritizing his fighters' well-being, a reminder that true leadership in combat sports means knowing when to protect your athlete, even if it means calling an end to a hard-fought battle. Move on to another news. The MMA community is making its voice heard, and it's calling for major changes to the UFC's rulebook. Following a series of controversial fights and questionable judging decisions, fighters, fans, and analysts alike have begun demanding that the promotion rethink several long-standing rules. The debate has quickly gained traction online, as many argue that modern mixed martial arts has evolved to a point where its regulations must evolve too. Among the most popular suggestions is a complete overhaul of the current scoring system. Many fans believe the traditional 10-point must system, borrowed from boxing, is outdated and inadequate for MMA. Instead of scoring each round individually, some propose judging the fight as a whole, giving credit to overall control, aggression, and damage rather than round-by-round tallies. Others even suggest that rounds 4 and 5 should count for double points, emphasizing the championship rounds where endurance and heart truly matter. Another widely discussed topic is the issue of weight cutting, which has long been criticized for putting fighters' health at risk. Several fans proposed that weigh-ins should take place right before the fighters walk out to the octagon, not a day earlier. This, they argue, would discourage extreme dehydration practices since athletes wouldn't have time to rehydrate and gain back significant weight before fighting. The result would be safer and more natural weight classes. The debate also reignited discussions about illegal strikes and fouls. Many in the MMA community are demanding stricter enforcement, including automatic point deductions for certain infractions. Under these proposed changes, fouls such as eye pokes, groin strikes, or cage grabs would no longer receive multiple warnings. A single offense would result in an immediate penalty. For example, if a fighter grabs the fence to prevent a takedown, they would instantly lose a point, as this action can dramatically alter the course of a fight. Likewise, repeated low blows or eye pokes would be punished without hesitation. In addition, several fans believe fighters who miss miss weight should automatically start the bout with a 1-point deduction. Missing weight, they argue, provides a clear physical advantage and should carry an immediate competitive consequence. Some of the more radical suggestions include allowing knees and kicks to grounded opponents, rules currently banned under the unified rules of MMA. Advocates for this change claim that it would make fights more dynamic and realistic, reducing stalling positions and forcing fighters to stay active. Others even suggested bringing back soccer kicks and upkicks, emphasizing how these strikes could add excitement and unpredictability to the sport. A number of proposals also targeted the judging and officiating process. Fans called for greater transparency by having judges explain their scorecards post-fight and making athletic commissions release reports analyzing controversial decisions. Some even suggested forming a panel of referees and judges to speak to the media after each event, similar to how the NBA releases officiating reports after games. This, they believe, would increase accountability and improve trust in the system. Lastly, the community pushed for a change in how injuries are treated in the record books. Fighters who lose due to accidental injuries, such as Tom Aspinall's knee injury against Curtis Blades, should not be marked with a loss. Instead, these bouts should be ruled no contests to preserve fairness. While opinions vary, one thing is clear: the MMA community wants evolution. From scoring reform to fighter safety and judging transparency, fans believe it's time the UFC modernizes its rules to match the rapidly advancing sport it helped create. Move on to another news. Sean O'Malley has responded to his latest call-out, this time from surging Canadian bantamweight Ayman Zahabi, and the exchange has quickly become one of the most talked-about storylines following UFC Vancouver. Zahabi, fresh off a hard-fought split decision win over Chito Vera, wasted no time in using his post-fight moment to call for a matchup with the reigning bantamweight champion. And while O'Malley's response might have seemed lighthearted, Zahabi insists that the reaction indicates genuine interest. Following his victory, Zahabi stood confidently in the octagon and issued a respectful but clear challenge to Sean O'Malley. The call-out came just moments after Zahabi's victory was announced, marking his 7th consecutive win, a streak that has catapulted him into the bantamweight top 10. Within hours, O'Malley reacted on social media, posting a short video on his X, formerly Twitter, account, saying simply, "Congratulations." The brief response, delivered with O'Malley's signature smirk, was interpreted by many as a dismissal, but Zahabi took it as a positive sign. When informed about O'Malley's reaction during his post-fight media session, Zahabi responded with optimism. "That's good," he said with a grin. "It seems like we're setting it up. If he didn't want it, he wouldn't have made a video. That tells me he's paying attention, and that's all I need." Zahabi, now 7-0 in his most recent run, has built momentum through smart strategy and consistent performances. The Canadian standout, known for his well-rounded skill set and calm fight IQ, traits that run in the family given his brother Firas Zahabi's reputation as one of MMA's top coaches, explained why O'Malley was the ideal target. "I'm confident in any matchup," he said. "I'm in the top 10 now, and if I'm not willing to fight anyone in the top 10, what am I even doing here? I want to fight the best. O'Malley is the #1 guy right now." Zahabi elaborated that, given the current state of the bantamweight division, the timing made sense. "Look, the way things are going with Merab Dvalishvili, he's cleaning out the division," Zahabi said. "And I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. O'Malley's a great fighter, no doubt, but he's already fought Merab twice, and both times it didn't go his way. So, I don't think he's next for the belt. There are other contenders like Umar Nurmagomedov, Pedro Munhoz, or even Batista who might get their title shots before Sean does. That opens the door for a fight between me and him." Indeed, on paper, Zahabi versus O'Malley would be an intriguing stylistic clash, O'Malley's sharp, unpredictable striking against Zahabi's measured and technical approach. Fans have already begun debating how such a fight would play out, with many praising Zahabi's confidence and composure in calling out one of the sport's biggest stars. Still, questions remain about whether O'Malley and his team will entertain the matchup. With Zahabi ranked 9th heading into UFC Vancouver, some believe Sean may prioritize higher-profile opponents, possibly looking toward top 5 contenders or even a move to featherweight. Regardless of what happens next, Zahabi's bold challenge has officially put him on the map as a serious player in the bantamweight division. And if O'Malley truly is listening, as Zahabi believes, the seeds for a compelling future showdown may have just been planted.